It is the Martha Zoller Show. That is Elise Stefanik, one of the people that are being considered as President Trump's vice presidential pick. We don't know who that is. Only he knows who that is. But our next guest might know who it is, but he won't tell. Doug Ivester is here with me right now, and we're so happy to have you here, Doug. How are you?
I'm great, Martha. Thank you for having me here, and congratulations to WDUN on your 75th anniversary.
I know.
I'm thrilled.
It is fantastic, and we are here in this building called the Renaissance.
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about this project, this labor of love that you've done for the last several years.
Well, I walked around this square when I was a young child. I'd come from New Holland and walk around the square, and that continued all the way for my life. And I was walking one of my dogs around the square and looking at the parking lot that existed right here, and I was one of those people that said somebody needs to do something. And as I walked around the square one day, I realized that somebody was me. And from that point forward, it was a rapid movement. We bought the land, we designed the building, we signed a contract, we started working on very strategic tenants to occupy the place and strategic relationships. And what you see is the building today. I love every part of it.
Now, I remember a number of years ago when you were still with Coca Cola, and Dan and Shondell Summer did the Coca Cola sign over on the other side of the square, on the side of their building, and you came to help a little bit with that. It's been a labor of love here in Hall County. You've never really left. I mean, even though you traveled the world and you did all kinds of things business-wise, you've just always been a Hall County guy.
I have, and my wife is. Kay
Yes.
is from Hall County as well. I remember the sign. I paid for the sign, by the way.
Good.
And
Thank you.
I remember some local people coming and helping us celebrate that day. It was a great, great day. And one of the best days of my life was walking the torch in 1996 around the square and being able to celebrate the Olympics in Gainesville and in Hall County. And it was a thrilling day that
It really
I still
was.
remember.
You know, I was in the junior league then, and we were helping with the hospitality, and the place where we kind of got our assignments every day was at the Norton Agency. You know, you went in and they told you where you needed to be that day and all of that sort of thing. And it was just such a labor of love, not only in Atlanta, which, you know, there was just great. I mean, it was a great event, although I think they lied about the weather. I remember when they were pitching for the Olympics, Billy Payne said something like, well, the average temperature in August is 77 degrees or something like that. I mean, and I remember thinking at the time, okay, he's putting the best face on this weather, and it was extremely hot. But it was some of the best times, really, that we had because it went so well. We were called the hospitality hub of the South.
Well, I had the opportunity to run the torch anywhere in America because our company sponsored it and actually designed the route. So I got to pick and choose what I wanted to do. And I chose the square in Gainesville as the place. I could have run in Atlanta or any place I really wanted to, but I wanted to run in Gainesville. And it proved to be the best decision of the Olympics that we made. We had such a good time up here. People were so wonderful, and I have fond memories of it even today.
So we're here in this fantastic building. There's been great improvement all the way around the square compared to where it was, say, 15 years ago. But what do you think should be our vision as we move forward? Because you should never be stagnant. What should our vision be as we move forward?
Well, I specifically named this building the Gainesville Renaissance because I was looking to spark a renaissance of the square on the basis that if we had a renaissance of the square, we would have a renaissance of the city. I believe to date that is proving to be the case, and I'm thrilled with the progress of the building and around the square. I think it must continue. I've communicated that to the mayor, the former mayor, city council members, anybody up here who will listen to me. I've communicated that the advance of the square is strategic to the advance of the city and the county. So I'm looking for a plan, and I think the city has one, to completely renovate the square, make it more inviting, more important, and I want it to be the central place for people in Hall County and really in North Georgia together.
Well, and one of the things that allows us to continue to be independent from Metro Atlanta is the fact we have WDUN and 24-hour news here in this community. There were a lot of places in Gwinnett and Cobb County and in other metro counties that had radio stations, but they've been gobbled up over time. And this particular venture that has been a part of this community now for 75 years is part of the reason why we have been able to maintain our independence from Metro Atlanta while still being close enough to utilize the airport, close enough to utilize the events. I think it's really a very important part.
I can't tell you how important and how strategic I think it is for WDUN to be located in the Gainesville Renaissance Building and on the square. It is a key element of the Renaissance that I'm looking for. And I'm thrilled with Jay Jacobs and Anna and the decision makers that helped make the decision to come here. It was extremely important, and I'm appreciative of it.
So I grew up in Atlanta, and my husband and I moved here to Gainesville in 1990. He had grown up here. He went to Gainesville High School, and I know you went to East Hall, but you won't hold that against him. But what was interesting is I've always joked with people. I say I'm from Atlanta. I drink Coke and I fly Delta, and so it's there is a boosterism, isn't there, with whether it's Atlanta or even the wider Metro Atlanta area, where we do a great job of propping up our own.
We take care of our own. We take care of our family. We take care of our friends. It's a Southern tradition, and it's a Southern trait that I think is a positive one. But I think it's awfully important to take care of family and friends. By the way, I went to North Hall, not East Hall.
Okay, sorry.
Kay went to East Hall.
Okay.
So we're a divided household.
Oh yeah. But that's even more of a rivalry.
But I have very fond memories of growing up from Gainesville and Hall County and North Hall, and I heard from two of my high school classmates that I graduated with this morning.
Wow.
I'm sure they're listening in right now, and a shout out to them. Thank you for staying friends all these years.
Yeah, one final question. I know that when I was working in the corporate world, sometimes people had assumptions about me because of my Southern accent, and it actually was an advantage when I was making deals because they kind of assumed I wasn't as smart as I actually was. Did you ever have that experience?
I had that experience in abundance, and I'd say I particularly had it when I first went to the company. It was an advantage to me. It later became a particular advantage as I was doing business in New York, because the New Yorkers always had an attitude toward the South, and I promoted that attitude because it was to my advantage to do so, and I felt good about it.
Doug Ivester, thank you so much for being with me today.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you very much. And congratulations to you on your current award as well.
Thank you so much.